Luke and the Screaming Brain.
Alright, welcome to podcast number 3. Once again, I am the Screaming Brain, Frank Dion, and my partner is...
Lucro, Riley Cole.
And we are bringing you back Lucro and the Screaming Brain, episode 3. We just checked the numbers on episode 2, and... well, they went down, but that's to be expected with any show, I guess. I'm personally a fan of just keep going.
I'm assuming that our voices must give people ear cancer.
Yes. I told you that might be a problem. I've killed many of people with my voice. I talk them to death, It's like a loaded gun. I have to register it. But, let's see if we got any email.
Okay, right here, just open up my Gmail here, and we've got one.
Hey, we got one!
From Sean Bala. Read it out loud.
Alright, it says, "Hey, my name's Sean Bala. I just saw your video on YouTube and wanted to contact you with a promotion that involves your video getting a whole lot of popularity. I like them already."
Yes, sounds like a stand-up gentleman.
"First off, you have a lot of potential." Wow, what do you give us that backhanded slap, right?
Yeah, well,
he's like,
fuck you.
Your video is going to interest many people.
Okay, well, I like.
Alright, he won me back. He won back.
Yeah. Oh boy, what's happening now? My internet doesn't like me.
Alright, but without a big enough online presence, your work may not reach as much people as you would like on YouTube. How many do we want to reach? Like, are we shooting for billions?
I don't think anybody's shooting for billions, because...
I don't know, I honestly believe, we get even 1,000, I'm interested. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, 1,000 is good enough for me, too.
Alright, and we're on our way. We have, 56 views on the first video. And that's the thing.
14.
Yeah. Oh, come on. You posted it, what, Monday? It's been
Tuesday.
4 days.
Tuesday.
Yeah, well, then it's been 3 days. I'm surprised we got 14. That's actually pretty good.
Okay.
And not to mention, the one... Between the first episode and the second episode, we had 2 weeks. Now we're doing this weekly.
That's true. That's true.
So, the viewership might go down. Alright, continuing. This is something I'd be happy to help you with, as my group and I can deliver a good amount of views to your video. Real people watching your video. Your video will be processed through a real-life traffic exchange network, resulting in thousands of unique views to your video. Go here to watch our video and learn more. Should we take a look?
Absolutely. We have to honor this guy as our first person to leave us a message.
He wants to help us. I believe in him.
Okay.
First off, let me say, if he starts off with something like, "Hey, do you want to make it big?" I say we quit.
Like, quit making the videos?
No, just quit listening to him. Because obviously he's just some...
Well, yeah.
Alright.
The page already looks real good.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Hi, welcome to IncreaseYourFanbase.com. Now, if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're an individual whose goal is to make it big in what you're pursuing.
And right away.
We're gone, then. Shut him down. Shut him down.
Becoming the next big celebrity.
Gone.
Oh my god. Yeah, you listen to it and you can tell he... I guess looking back, I guess we could have saw where he's just like, "Hey, we can help you by watching your video a bunch of times." I can tell my friends to do that.
We did tell our friends to do that. They didn't do it, though.
Well, that's the thing. I haven't really been promoting it as much as I should, just because, I know both of my friends aren't really podcast listeners, and...
Nobody at work is, really.
Oh, God, no. I think John is, though. We'll call him John, just to save his name and his identity. Keep him safe. But yeah, honestly, it's YouTube. Eventually somebody's gonna stumble across and be like, "Hey, these guys are pretty funny," and he'll have friends who listen to podcasts.
Hopefully.
And isn't shunned like the rest of the geek community with podcasting. It's hard to explain to people, though, right? You ever try to explain it? I explain it, basically, it's a radio show that's an hour long.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best you can do. They talk about specific genres and subjects.
And don't play songs.
Yeah. But again, legally, I guess technically though, right? Though, if you can find somebody who either the songs are free
Yeah, like we do for our end theme song. Then.
Yeah. Or if it's a situation where the podcast is specifically started up by the, record company.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, technically it could happen, but ultimately it's just a radio show. So, yeah. Alright, well, that takes care of our comments and feedback. Glad to know there are people out there who want to help us by watching our video if we pay them enough. I'll tell you what, you start paying us, we'll pay you. You know, I think that's fair.
But we don't get paid.
Shut up.
Oh, wait. No, we don't.
We're working towards it. When we start giving head for money, for views, that's when I think we sold out. Well, that's my selling point. I'm just like, you know what? This podcast isn't worth selling my body. I'm good without people listening.
I don't. Depends.
I mean, you don't want to be in
to a guy. Yeah, maybe not. But if
you don't want to be sitting there working your corner, just being like, "Hey there, big boy. Ever listen to a podcast?" He drives up in his car and he's like, "Hey, you want me to listen? Come over here. I'll do 2 views for HJ, 5 for BJ, 7 if you're willing to show me yours, 8 if I can show you mine." He has a real network of choices picked out for us.
Wow. I'm glad he already has a predetermined viewing.
Well, it's
ratio.
a podcast network, it's already been determined, and
oh, yeah, that's true.
I'm sure there's been people already selling their body for viewing.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't.
Or listening, because it is a podcast network. Technically, we're on video, and I know a lot of people kind of are like looking at the video and just being like, "Well, what do you just watch that blank screen while they talk?" And ultimately, no. If you want to do other stuff while we're talking, go ahead. We become background noise, and you know what? Maybe we'll make you laugh. Maybe it'll make you cry. Maybe it'll make you throw your iPod out the window.
I'm aiming for crying.
Oh,
I like people crying.
Do you just want to tell sad stories? Do that. Today a puppy just died. It had the cutest little nose and the biggest eyes.
And it cried as it was dying.
Like a single tear.
Yeah.
Like a single sexy tear you see in movies where their eyes aren't red, and it dribbles down their cheek. But then his giant tongue just lapped it up.
And he also, the dog, I'm pretty sure he also licked the barrel of my gun too.
That's right. We're killing animals just to get you to listen. We're like crazy Lewis. We'll do anything to get you to listen. You want to see a person die? You want to hear a person die? Here we go. Oh no! Oh God! Did you shoot my spleen? That is my spleen. Oh God! That
shows you to fucking be part of our podcast.
That's right. So start listening, or else we're gonna just start roaming the countryside. There's one. There's one.
Okay, so that's probably enough nonsense for now.
Oh, come on. Nonsense makes up half our show.
I know.
Alright, so now that we're done with the business at hand, what do you want to get into today?
I got a few things. One thing, quickly mention, we have a logo that's coming out.
Woo! Who designed it?
One of my friends, professional.
Nice.
DeviantArt page. I'm gonna link her DeviantArt page once we get the logo up.
Awesome.
She does do requests.
Oh, nice.
Obviously, paid requests.
Yeah.
You submit something that you want, and she'll give you a quote.
She's not just gonna draw something and be like, "Pay me now," or
no.
Okay.
No. She'll discuss.
So she's above the board. She's professional about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. She does a really good job. I've got her drawing 2 League of Legends pictures for me, and I've seen all the hand drawings before she's started with the computer.
Oh, nice.
And they look amazing. They look as good as this picture right here that I have in front of us.
For those who realize this is a audio podcast, imagine a woman.
No, it's a man! Jesus Christ, it's a man! Everybody's... Oh my god.
Well, that's the problem, man. Anime has such delicate features.
Ezreal.
Ezreal. You sure it's not
Everybody
Israel?
who... Yeah, it's Ezreal.
Ezreal.
Yeah.
From
Everybody who plays League of Legends is going to laugh.
Okay.
And they're going to be like, ha ha ha
Haha, he's not a nerd in everything.
No, because everybody says that he looks like a chick. They're going to laugh. Oh, that's the joke that's always running. He looks like a girl.
I'll be honest, man. I would still go for it. Once you told me, I mean, look at that face. Oh God, you could fall in love with those eyes.
Shut up. No. He has a girlfriend.
Doesn't matter.
I'm having a drawing of him cuddling his girlfriend at a picnic, so that nobody can be like, "Who's that chick?" No, it's a guy. Ezreal, dude, manly.
Is there gonna be ants ruining the picnic? Maybe some rain.
No.
Oh, so it's a real picturesque Norman Rockwell painting.
Sure. No, it's just gonna be a nice painting.
All right,
or
cool.
Picture. But either way, so yeah, happy about that. And then one thing that
just for anyone else, if you have any fan art, I know it's a little early in the podcast, but if you have any fan art, submit it. I mean,
yeah.
we are going to try and have an official logo, but you know, we have a video, so we might want to have things to just post randomly throughout this podcast, so you're not just looking at one screen.
Yeah. If we get like pictures submitted, we can just like chain them up in the video so that people can look.
Like a little slideshow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's totally doable.
Now remember, it's Lucro and the Screaming Brain. I'm not sure what Lucro looks like too much.
Troll.
All right, there you go. It's a troll.
He's a troll.
Okay. And the Screaming Brain, well, the name sells itself. It's a brain that screams. You know, you can make it a happy scream, a sad scream. You can make it a hysterical scream. As long as it's a brain.
The only requirement.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm glad we got a logo. We're getting one made up.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it comes out really well.
Oh, it will. I trust it fully. Okay, so what do we have to talk about today?
Oh, I know. You suggested the other day Treasure Planet.
Yes. Yay! I want to talk about Treasure Planet.
First of all, if you haven't seen it, fantastic Disney movie. I think it's completely underrated.
It's my favorite of all Disney movies.
I'm sure there'll be plenty who would disagree with you, but honestly, I could see that.
Well, they don't have to fucking agree with my choice for favorite. It's my choice.
No. It's the internet. You have to agree all on one.
Well, fuck them. Fuck the internet. But...
Because everything in the internet is unanimous agreement, right? We all agree that, Satan's bad. That Adolf Hitler did some wrong things.
Well, I'm certain that everybody's going to agree he did some wrong things. Like, you can't say, no, he was a perfect stand-up gentleman.
I'm sure some Germans would. Maybe some neo-Nazis.
But they still would say that he did something wrong. Because he made wrong decisions, even if they were for what people would consider the better of people. The betterment for people.
Alright, okay.
He's still done fucked.
Alright.
By killing his dogs. He killed his golden retrievers!
Aww.
Because he wanted to make sure that his suicide pills worked. So
well,
he got it tested on his dogs.
They are truly man's best friend there.
He was so sad about it.
Wait, Adolf! Those pills might be poison! Let me test them first! Yep, they're poison.
Well, no, like he told the scientist, because they had to make sure that the cyanide pills were going to work, right? Like, he had to know that they were going to work so that he wouldn't get captured. And he told the scientist to do them on his dogs. As much as he didn't want to, he had them done to his dogs.
You're telling me there wasn't an intern in that one day that he could have just been like, do it on him. Do it on that Jewish intern.
I don't know. From all reports, they say he was very, like, his scientist said that he was very broken up by the fact that he.
Oh, I'm not doubting that.
suggested
I'm just saying, like, you can't tell me there wasn't one other person in the room he was willing to sacrifice.
Well, I
mean,
don't know.
it's Adolf friggin' Hitler, right? You know, maybe I'm demonizing him a bit too much, but I can't believe there's a situation where he's just like, there's no one else in this room we can sacrifice.
I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that the only reason why he didn't sacrifice anyone in that room is purely because they're scientists and they're going to better society.
Yeah, but what's one scientist gone, you know?
And whereas a dog is gonna be his best friend only until he takes the fucking pill and then is dead. So that's just gonna be my thought process on that, but either way, Treasure Planet, back to that. How we ended up on Hitler, who knows? I don't fucking remember.
Alright. So, your thoughts? Do you want to do a quick recap of what it's about, or?
Okay, so for
those who don't know, it's based on Treasure Planet. Like, I don't. There is a book called Treasure Island, and they adapted it, so basically it's in the future and in space.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, I don't think there's much more you can say about that. The character, you know, Long John Silver's still there. You have...
As Silverman. Not quite Long John Silver.
Yeah.
His name's Silverman.
And then you got other aliens being part of the crew, and you got a alien captain, and, like, he has a friend.
Cat. Or no.
Yeah. She's a captain.
She's like a leopard.
Yeah, but she's still she's still the captain.
Yeah.
But she still looks like a cat. I'm not saying like a meow cat, but but you know, you still
humanoid.
We still classify even like the puma as a cat.
Yeah. Part of the cat family. Yeah.
But yeah, so they have that. They have one of my favorite characters, Doppler, played by David Hyde Pierce, who played Niles in Frasier. I love that guy.
Doppler, the dog.
Yeah, sure. He's a real nervous guy who's just like, go Doppler, go Doppler. Where he's like, all my life I've been waiting for a moment like this.
The robot?
No. He buys a suit.
Okay, the dog. The dog astrophysicist.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Doppler.
Yeah.
Who plays, who's that? There's that idiot who has a lot of money, the original Treasure Island thing. You know? Are you well versed with it?
I don't remember Treasure Island.
Alright, well, anyways, he plays that part, and then you have aliens and
Jimmy.
Yeah, and then they go find a planet full of treasure and try and take it. And along the way, Jim, who's the main character, right?
Yep.
Grows.
But like the only reason why he grows is because of the villain.
Well, that's the thing. I think this movie...
Who's not a villain.
Yeah. Well, I think this is one of the movies that Disney kind of does interestingly. It doesn't do enough. But they tend to do this movie like in something like Old Yeller. Where basically it's the growth of a character without having to demonize somebody else to have the character grow. But, like, Long John Silver, yes, he is technically the villain. But at the same time, he comes across as a father figure as well. He stands up for Jim at certain moments.
Yeah.
So ultimately, he's not the antagonist so much as it's more of a what's it? Man versus himself.
Yeah.
And if it's man versus himself, technically a villain is both the protagonist and the antagonist.
And you know what? Like as I was thinking about it because I watched it last night, and
to get prepared, I guess.
Yeah. Plus, I just really fucking wanted to watch it.
Nice.
Jim or Jim Boy.
Is he played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
that's one of his earlier roles. Because
now that you mention it,
I was thinking it was either him or Matt Damon, but I didn't think it was Matt Damon.
No. It sounds like Gordon Levitt Jr. But
Junior, yes,
whatever.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I call him Junior. He looks like a He looks like a junior.
He looks like somebody else's kid who was named Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, he looks like he deserves the junior suffix.
Oh, just because. Is it just because of his look? Like he still looks like he could be in high school. Just get off topic though. I thought he could make amazing L for Death Note.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, could you see that? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would actually be really good if they did a North American adaptation.
And you know who I kind of want for Light, even though you'll probably scream no at me and threaten to take my life. I'm not sure if you know his work, but Zac Efron. Well, that's the thing, right? Light is specifically a kind of, good guy. He looks like he wouldn't hurt a fly, but at the same time, he's not.
He's a fucking psycho, and Zac Efron cannot play a psycho at all. I could not ever imagine him.
Yeah,
playing.
but what have you seen him in? Be fair, like I know he has a High School Musical stuff that you're kind of like you're gonna shit all over.
No, I watched the first one and I enjoyed the first one.
Yeah.
The other ones I didn't like.
All right, but then you have 17 again, which he did a fantastic job in. Charlie St. Cloud, he does a great acting job in as well.
Didn't see that.
Me and Orson Welles, he does a good job in that too. See, the problem isn't so much that he's a bad actor. It's just a simple case of where he gets cast type into these roles. Like, do you know he was supposed to be in the remake of that Footloose movie?
I could see that.
He was supposed to be the main star of that movie, and I'm so glad he turned it down because that movie was a piece of shit. Look, the idea of Footloose works best in the 80s when we kind of believed, like, it was a simpler time when we believed a town would be like, no more rock music, no more dancing. Even the way they try and sell it in the remake, you're kind of like, really? Yeah. You're banning dancing because that was a big issue? Oh, wow. I'm not saying you guys are idiots, but come on.
Well, they did it in Britain.
They did it. They banned dancing.
That rocked. Well, okay, sorry. They banned all like pop music.
Yeah, but is it still banned?
Not anymore.
Is it because some plucky young kid from the big city showed up and started cutting loose, footloose?
No.
Kicked off the Sunday shoe up their ass?
No, that's definitely not why. It was because I don't know. Just fucking watch The Boat That Rocked. Or Pirate Radio, and you'll see why.
Okay.
Back to Treasure Planet again for the third time now. That we can't stay on topic for some reason tonight.
All right.
What were we talking? How far did we get? We got to explaining what the movie was.
Yeah, we got to that point, and then I side noted us with Death Note. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Oh, you're right. He is the main star. We found our way back. I know a bunch of you are just like you. It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That was a tangent. Well, you know what? We're talking straight. We can't stop talking. It's like verbal diarrhea. If we stop talking, we'll die. He's got us hooked up to some machines. They don't stop for about an hour.
It's advanced technology.
Yeah.
But so my thing was that I noticed was that Jimmy and Jim Boy, whatever you want to call him, him and Silverman, Long John Silver, they are actually the same character.
Yeah, ultimately, yeah.
They both are bad boys who do wrong all the time, but want to do better for themselves, have goals that they can't quite reach, and one is looking for a father and one's looking for a son.
Okay, I can see that.
And they both wanted be out on their own.
And
then in the end they didn't. But the difference. Spoilers. In the end they.
Spoilers over that 60-year-old book.
Yeah. In the end, Long John Silver wanted to he had to go off on his own, and Jim had to realized he had to be with people.
Yeah.
That's the only difference I see in those two characters.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's the thing, Silver grew up without a family, Jim grew up with a family.
Kinda. I mean, he grew up with his mom.
Yeah, what, a mom's not a family? Fuck you. I know a lot of divorced kids' parents.
But either way though, he grew up in a broken up family that was broken up through pure depression.
I know. I'm saying Long John Silver, from what we can tell, kind of just grew up on the high seas.
Yeah.
High space seas.
Yeah.
That's the thing though. One of the biggest things you have to do with this movie is it is Treasure Island in space. If you can't get your mind around that idea, skip it. Because That is the worst thing whenever you go to a movie. You ever get that? Where there's obviously trailers. They obviously saw the trailer, and yet they're still going to be like, no, I'm not going to like this movie because this happens. I've had that happen with, say, something like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I had someone go, it was completely unrealistic. And I went, well, first of all, it's a movie about fictional characters.
One of them's invisible.
Yeah. Like literature fictional characters that get together to form a team to take on a villain who's threatening the world. I understand you could do it more seriously, but the idea of it being, too far-fetched, come on. I hate that. Like, and that's one of the problems. Is just like people. It's like people see a trailer and still go like, oh, well, this is going to be high art, and if it's not, fuck it. Look, there's trailers for a reason. If you don't want to watch a movie, don't watch the movie. Don't go and watch it and then bitch about it.
Yeah.
Or go watch it and bitch about it anyway, because I believe you do have that right to bitch about a movie you didn't like.
Yeah.
But at the same time, don't quote that as your reason for not liking it. You could hate it for a score. You could hate it for, like, the acting. But have a good reason why you hate it. Don't just... I hated it because I hated it.
Like the discussion we had about Men in Black 3?
Yeah. Like, me and you personally both love it, but we have a coworker who hates it because the ending is too convenient. Hey, here's the thing with time travel. Of course it's going to be convenient. It was a paradox. I'm not going to say what it is, but suffice to say, like, it has to happen.
Hold on one second. You keep talking for a second here.
So this is going to be me just stalling for time. I'm going to list all the numbers above 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whole numbers. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
I'm back.
11. All right. 11 seconds. Yes. All right, that's how I stall for time. I'm not going to be trying to be clever. I have no personality of my own.
Wow.
Because that's what they say, right? To be a great host, you have to have no personality. Just be able to talk.
Who says that?
Them. The almighty people who say things.
Is that supposed to be a fucking reference to Anchorman 2?
I don't know.
Who says that they're just a cave? Oh, them. Who's them? Who's they? Well, this guy who sells stuff to one of my friends, that's him. That's not a they.
I don't know. There's always a them. There's always a they.
No, there's not.
There are people just saying things. We naturally assume they exist.
So we were talking about Treasure Planet. One thing, I wanted to ask is who do you think? Who would you consider to be the villain?
If I had to choose a villain, it would be the kind of lobster guy.
Yeah, I agree.
He's the only one who has malice intent, no redeeming features.
And he's the one who keeps pushing Silverman to be bad.
Yeah. He's like the devil on your shoulder, except he's huge. What was one of your favorite alien characters from the crew?
The fart.
God, yes, right? Like, it's such a stupid idea, but you know what? Just an alien who has to talk in flatulence. That's hilarious.
And Doppler or whatever coming up and saying, I've had 2 years of experience in flatulence. It's just like, what?
Then they share a little joke. Or, you know who else I liked? That guy who was just like, what are you staring at, weirdo? And then his head pops off and he's like, yeah, weirdo.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. The designs are so interesting in this movie. There's not a creature you're going to be like, yep, that's cliche. Seen that before.
And
even like, that's the thing. Like, Silverman, I think, is a character you should by all rights hate, because you know he's going to be the villain. If you know anything about Treasure Island, you know, like, there's been countless adaptations. Like, one of my favorites, up at Treasure Island.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, everyone who's played the role plays it so well, you can't help but like him. In this one, I don't know who plays him, but he's fan-friggin-tastic. Like when he says that line, you got the makings of greatness in ya. Yeah, you're just like, oh man, wish I had a dad like that. But you know, you have your dad upstairs and he's like, Yeah, the makings of greatness. Ah, you didn't say it. It's good.
Yeah, the other thing that I loved a lot was a 2D movie,
Mm-hmm.
but the random things that were made with 3D arts.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. Back in 2002, that was a very rare concept. Nobody ever really did, and if they did it, it wasn't good.
Well, that's the thing. Disney, for what a lot of people don't realize, has actually been pushing some of the technology for animation.
Yeah.
Like even way back in Great Mouse Detective, there's a scene where Ratigan's running through a clock tower, and as he's running, the animation is spinning around these gears and stuff, and he's losing like some clothing and becoming more rat-like as he's crawling up there, and he gets up, and through that entire scene, you are amazed by how good that animation is for like 15 seconds. It's 15 seconds of CG that you never notice until somebody tells you.
Yeah.
Because you're just thinking, who the hell drew that?
Well, they didn't draw all of it.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, like I today, even though like with all the technology that I have for 3D animations and 3D design, I cannot do as good of a job as Disney did back in 2002, and that fucking shocks me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, they care. We're like, like regardless of what you say, well, regardless of what most people will say about their movies, you can tell there's some serious effort put into every single one. None of them are just like terrible beyond belief.
Oh yeah, no, I can't think of a bad Disney movie.
Like, to be fair, we're talking mostly the animated movies.
Yeah.
Because there are some live action that aren't particularly well written or acted, but like you watch the animated movies, like
their bread and butter.
Yeah,
you look at their bread and butter,
and that's the problem I think happened is they it wasn't so much that they strayed away from their formula. I think what always did great with Disney was to treat it somewhat like a musical.
Yeah,
because when they had the characters and when they sang, they were committed to their song. You believe their emotional state in that moment, which is what a lot of musicals need to do, and what with Disney you've come to expect. Like I liked Tarzan, but I noticed it started going away from it, and then what was the other one? Brother Bear afterwards.
Yeah,
still a great story, but losing some of the songs, you don't feel as enthusiastic about it.
Well, what about Treasure Planet though? That only had one song and it wasn't even an original.
I know, and that's the thing. Like, if you look
it was still an amazing movie.
Oh yeah, like that's the thing about we're saying like Disney still creates amazing movies, but the problem is like it wasn't as popular as say like some of their biggest hits like Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King.
That's true.
And now recently with Frozen. Frozen has gone back to the formula that friggin' works for Disney, and that's the thing. Like I know you can cry like bullshit on them going back to a formula, but you know what? That formula works and people want it. You know why? The world has gotten so serious and smug about it. You can't enjoy anything just because you enjoy it. It has to be enjoyed ironically. You can't like a movie because it's a grade A cheese. You got to be like, oh, I like it because it's so bad. Bullshit. You like it because you like it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Stop apologizing for things. Look, I'll be honest. I love a lot of stuff. I probably shouldn't. I like when Machete Kills. I like Hobo with a Shotgun.
Yes.
Like that's the thing. You tell me you could have the name inside. You can have what happens inside the title, and I will enjoy that because it puts it on Front Street. There's no burying the lead. Like, I have not seen Olympus Has Fallen, but you know why I don't want to see it? It looks way too friggin' serious.
Yeah.
Like it looks like. There's two movies released at the same time. There was Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down.
Yeah.
Both look like Die Hard in the White House, right?
Basically, yeah.
I watched White House Down for one reason. It looked like the movie I wanted to see. It was an everyman who would just happen to be at the wrong place on the wrong day.
Didn't that have Channing Tatum?
Yes.
Yes. And I love Channing Tatum.
I didn't like. I was like most people when he first started. I was kind of like, this kid, he's not really showing me anything I really want to see. But you know what? Like, after a couple of movies and 21 Jump Street kind of helped. G.I. Joe didn't.
Well,
Retaliation, like, that's the other thing with
What
like,
about Sorry to cut you off. What about
Magic Mike? Oh my God! I can't.
I love Magic.
I was
Mike.
watching. I was like, oh my God, this movie's so good. Popcorn in one hand, dick in the other. Yeah, Channing strip. There it is. All right. Now they're gonna get into plot again.
Depressing. But yeah, so what the fuck were we talking about?
We're talking about White House Down and how.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and we're talking about what got us into Channing Tatum. Specifically for me, it was. I will admit, it is. I think 21. No, and when I absolutely love Channing Tatum. This is the end. Have you seen?
Oh yeah.
If anyone knows, he has a cameo on there. I won't spoil it, but because of that moment alone, I was like, I don't care what this guy does. I will not bash him.
I actually one of the first movies that got for me was The Vow.
The Vow.
The Vow. It's a romance movie, and I hate romance movies.
Okay, The Vow. I didn't see it, but I remember the commercials for that.
The chick, she hits her head and in a car accident and loses her memory.
As you do.
Yeah, she gets amnesia, and they were engaged, or were they married? I can't remember. I watched it so long ago.
Maybe you hit your head in the car.
Maybe. But basically, it became like and this is based on a true story too. This actually happened, and it was written about and everything. But so the story was basically Channing Tatum trying to get her to fall back in love with him, and right until the very end, you had no idea what was going to happen, and that's why I loved it so much. Most romantic movies, you can tell right from the beginning who's gonna fall in love. What's going to happen, how it's going to fall apart, how they're going to get back together. This one kept you guessing right up until the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Oh, that's the thing, though. In terms of, like, you can guess what's going to happen. That's the problem. The story's been told 1,000 times.
Exactly. But this one wasn't. This was a brand new story.
I wouldn't say brand new. I'd say it has... I'd say it does a good thing and has, like, enough...
But it was new enough.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, they had enough new elements, if you will.
Yeah.
Whereas I think that story would be Man versus World.
Yeah.
But Channing Tatum in White House Down. If you haven't seen it, it's directed by Roland Emmerich, and if you like Independence Day, or I'm not gonna say Godzilla because I don't know much people who will enjoy that, but Independence Day definitely. Yeah. Day After Tomorrow, I really enjoyed that too.
I wouldn't really classify that as the same. Well,
because you got the two Roland Emmerich movies that people tend to shit on a lot. You have 2012.
Yeah, which is terrible. No, 2013.
2012.
Yeah,
because it was based off the idea that the world's going to end in 2012. That's how you remember that title. And then you have Godzilla, which a lot of people friggin' hate, and I will admit I hate. But you know what came out of it that was great? The TV series. I fucking love that TV. I don't think you've seen it, right?
No, I have not.
Yeah. Ooh, speaking of TV series, Death Note has 37 episodes and 2 TV specials. Just in case anyone's out there ready poised at their keyboard to be like, "Oh, you fucker."
Oh, that was from last week.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure people know that we occasionally check up on our stuff to make sure we correct it.
Yeah.
But back to what we were saying, which was
Treasure Planet.
All right.
We basically finished with it. The only thing that I was going to say is another reason why I love Treasure Planet so much is it reminds me of one of my favorite video games, Skies of Arcadia. Skies of Arcadia, for anybody who doesn't know, old-ass game. I own it on the Dreamcast. Yes, I own a fucking Dreamcast.
He's old school, best school.
I love my Dreamcast, but Skies of Arcadia, it's Dreamcast, GameCube? Yeah, it was also GameCube. And basically you fly around as... it's not space, but it's sky. You're a sky pirate.
So like atmosphere.
Yeah. But you're flying around in a ship that looks basically like a cross between.
Is it between planet to planet?
No,
Or is it just
they're floating. They're floating islands in the sky.
Okay, so it is like upper atmosphere.
Yeah.
Stratosphere.
Yeah,
There
basically.
you go.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a RPG turn-based. You know, kind of like your Pokemon's Final Fantasy.
Except if you fall, you could die.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Go Pikachu.
But yeah, it's kind of got the same kind of story-ish about like Vi's the main character, although he does have a father, but his father's kind of a dick a little bit, and like
an actual dick? Like just a giant penis?
No.
Oh, come on, you gotta tell me that would be interesting.
Of course, his dad is a good dad, but his dad is also a bastard at times because he's like the leader of the pirate ship.
So basically, he's a dad.
Yeah, well, I guess, yeah.
You look at it, any dad is both cool and a bastard.
Yeah,
I don't know any kid who was just like, my dad was a perfect dad. Always tussled my hair, had a pipe in his hand, was from the 1950s. Talking like Bing Crosby. What do you want to do today, son?
But didn't Bing Crosby say it was okay to stuff oranges in a sack and hit your kid?
I said sounds like Bing Crosby.
Okay.
To beat your kids with a sack of Valencia oranges. They don't leave a bruise and let them know who's boss.
So I just Skies of Arcadia, an amazing game. It just it reminded when I was playing Skies of Arcadia right around the time when Treasure Planet came out, because they're roughly like Skies of Arcadia is 99.
Oh, quick
2000.
question, because I would be older than you. How old were you when you watched Treasure Planet?
10.
Wow, yeah. So I'd be
92 was when I was born, and it came out in 2002. So yeah, I was 10 years old.
And you're what, 20 now?
21.
All right, so 7 years. I was 17. Still loving that movie. All right, so back to your thing, Skies of Arcadia.
I basically said my piece on Skies of Arcadia. It's just I love the game. It reminded me of Treasure Planet.
And for those who are just hoarding their Dreamcast in their closet, I guess get it and toss it on, give it an old play.
Absolutely. If you have a Dreamcast and you're not fucking playing it, shame on you.
I know, right? Like, there's people who collect those things and just let them go to waste in their closet, and they never bother playing. You know what? A game is meant to be played. It breathes life into them. You can almost hear them cry when you're not playing them. Just play with me.
Not only that, but if you're holding a Dreamcast in a box, hoping that you're going to make money, guess what? You're not. They are worthless. They're amazing and fun, but the community has deemed them worthless. And if you think you're going to get money by not opening up your Dreamcast, fucking open it up and play the games. The games are fun. Play them.
This message brought to you by Dreamcast.
Oh, well, Sega.
Shut up. We're defunct now. We brought out the name Dreamcast. We admit it wasn't a good idea.
No, it definitely wasn't. I know.
Oh, look at him. He's excited. What is it, Riley? What is it? What is it, boy? Little Timmy fall down the well again?
Maybe. We don't care about him, though.
Okay.
A new idea that I want us to do every week.
Every week?
Yes. Like in our podcast.
All right, shoot.
Hatred Corner.
Hatred Corner. Intrigues me. Go on with the premise.
We have one topic each that's been bothering us like this week.
Topic or like does it have to be like general or can it be specific?
Anything.
Okay.
If it has been pissing the fuck out of you for the past week, you're gonna get a chance to talk about it for like 10 or 15 minutes or like however long you need to just rant.
Based on the time,
maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, we'd have to do a 5-minute limit.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So what's been pissing you off this week?
No. You brought it up. You lead.
Okay. Well, because we were getting into the topic of Treasure Planet.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was talking about how amazed I was at the 3D graphics in the 2D world.
Yeah.
One thing that pissed the fuck out of me, and I cannot get out of my head, an anime called Divergence Eve. Absolute garbage. I couldn't even finish the first scene of the first episode. That's how bad it is.
A show so bad.
You couldn't even get past, like I got to maybe 4 words, like 4 sentences said, and then 1 animation, and I was like, fuck this.
My name is Mako. I'm out of here.
And the thing is I love almost every anime that I watch. I loved Rocket Girls. Everybody hates Rocket Girls.
That's right.
It's a space anime that doesn't go into space. Sounds very terrible. It goes into space at the very end of the movie. And it's only for a brief, 15 minutes.
Yay, we made it to space.
I like the movie, though. I like the movie, though. Or, not the movie, sorry. I like
the TV show. Yeah.
TV series. But everybody hated it. I detested to the point of, if I had watched the full first episode, I probably would have killed myself.
What happened to Roddy? He watched Divergence Eve, and it wasn't pretty. There's blood all over the walls. He wrote in his own shit. I hate Divergence Eve. Well, you thought he misspelled it a while, but it just turns out that's how you spell it.
And yeah, I watched it in grade 10. I attempted to watch it in grade 10. So this would have been 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was the first year that I decided that I was going to be a 3D animator / designer, whether it's for movies or for video games. I hadn't decided that part yet, but I had known that I wanted to work with 3D animations. And I was maybe 7 months into designing stuff, and I could already do a better job than professionals did on that fucking show. Fuck that show. I hate it. Garbage. I'm done.
Alright.
That wasn't 5 minutes, but that was all I needed.
That's all you need to say your piece about that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Alright, well, you caught me off guard. Let's see, something I hate. You know what? I'm gonna go a little more recent with mine. It's something that I talk about profusely to anyone who kind of listen to me. Is I hate Man of Steel. I think it... look, I'm not going to say it's a bad film, because I don't think any of the Nolan / Goyer and now Snyder films are bad. I just don't think they're very fucking good. I think they're overrated with, with Man of Steel. One of the biggest things I hear isn't so much that it was a good movie. It was that there was action in it.
Fuck.
And there was 90% of action. Of course you're going to like it if it's that long. I mean, it's what, a 2-hour movie? An hour and a half of it is action. You get maybe half an hour where he walks around and talks to people. And when he talks to people, oh god, I hate Jonathan Kent. I think he's a dick. His son saves a busload of kids, and instead of being good job, son, I know it was hard, but you had to do it. He's like, when the kid sits there and he's all what was I supposed to do? Let him drown? And he's just maybe. I'm like, fuck you, Jonathan Kent.
Yeah.
The problem is you have Superman. You have to teach that kid. You have to teach a guy that with that much power to have incorruptible morals. You know why? Because if you don't, he can easily just go nope. You dead. Why? You were threatening the planet. Nowhere else to deal with it. And that's the thing. It was also the thing that Goyer does with all of his fucking films. If you've seen Blade 2, I think he did Blade 3 as well. Dark Knight Rises. I'll give him Batman Begins because that was actually one of the better ones. But those movies specifically, he writes a character. He writes a movie, but he never writes about the protagonist taking a journey from one point to another. You have Man of Steel. And the only thing that really changes about him is he gets a costume. He's still lost, still looking for who he is. He kind of knows now that he had his kryptonite heritage, but then he destroyed it for no reason.
Yeah.
Well, he had a reason, obviously. There was
to
it, but overall, it's just God, I hate this movie. Here's the thing you could have done. Because people are always well, they'll deal with it in the sequel. Here's an idea. If you're going to do that kind of thing, how about set it up where he is heroic? But in the sequel, you show Lex Luthor's reaction to his heroism. How he's trying to save her. If you show a scene where he's trying to save everyone, But then you show from Lex Luthor's point of view, where he's just seeing him smash around with Zod across the city, destroying countless buildings, killing hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Then you have a situation where he now has to fight for the trust of the people, instead of just being like, all right, and he'll kill a villain, and then the next thing he'll just pop up and be like, I'm here to help, but on my terms. And you're just like, wait, you killed a guy, and your response to that isn't, oh my god, how am I gonna live with this?
Yeah.
It's I'm here to help, but on my terms. What the fuck? And look, if you're gonna do that kind of thing, maybe set it up that the reason he feels bad for killing, maybe have him lose control of his powers and accidentally be responsible for Jonathan Kent's death. Then you have that guilt. You have a reason for him to be searching the world. Instead of just, he feels responsible because his dad told him to stay put and he let him get swallowed up by a friggin' tornado. I don't care who you are. I don't care whose kid you are. You save your dad if you have the power to disable him from a tornado. Especially if all he was doing was saving a fucking dog. First of all, it was a very good dog. I don't care. I know farmers who, if their dogs go rabid, they will put them down in an instant.
That dog didn't go rabid, though.
No, I'm just saying, like, farmers love their dog up to a point.
And clearly, Tornado has not reached that point yet.
Or even, alright, beyond that, let's say he really loves that dog to a point where it's like a second son. How about send...
I was going to say to the point of bestiality, but continue.
But even with that, instead of saying, hey, Clark, stay there, how about fucking saying, Clark, your invincible fucking son, to go save that dog? You know why? Because if he's hit by a tornado, you can come up with some sort of cover story that he was thrown from the tornado and managed to land like in a patch in a clearing.
But the reason why
is because he didn't want his son to be outed, right?
And not only that, though, is he wanted to prove that he could do stuff.
Oh yeah, that's the best time to prove it. Hey son, there's a tornado. Now's Jonathan Kent's time to shine.
but no, like he wanted to show his son that he doesn't need to rely on his son for everything. That he is still the man of the house.
Yeah, but that's not even part of the scene. So there's no real need to prove that. You have the scene's literally about you're not my dad, and then suddenly a tornado pops out of fucking nowhere. Which tornadoes happen. I understand that, but at the same time, I'm like, why are we dealing with if you want to deal with this bullshit, deal with it when he's really young. That's when kids generally do that. You're not my father bullshit. Or you know what? Maybe 15. But don't do it when he looks like he's 23, still living in his parents' house. You're not my father. And I think that is. I just watched that movie and I was just like, this movie is fucking. But don't get me wrong, there are scenes I do like. Yeah. The stuff on Krypton, interesting. Yeah. It's very fascinating. I don't think Krypton was particularly well designed, for the simple fact that throughout all the comics, it's kind of this utopian future planet. Do you want to live there? Does it look any at all utopian?
No, it looks like a shithole.
I know, right? Everything's all and that's the other thing. Fucking hate washed out superheroes. All the costumes so fucking muted. Yeah. You watch them and you're just nothing pops. You know what pops? The product placement. IHOP, 7-Eleven. That's the thing. Their colors are so bright when you see them. You're just like, oh look, some brightness in this dark world that they live in. And I get it. You're trying to make a Superman for this day and age. Here's the thing. You want to make a Superman for this day and age? Make a Superman that inspires kids to do something heroic. We have kids out there who, there's this kid I recently read, saved 6 other kids from a fire, but died saving the 7th. That kid is a fucking hero.
Why didn't he just let the 7th die?
Well, yeah, you go back, you roll the dice, and you're like, damn, craps today.
Where were those 7s?
But even then, I'm not saying, you inspire the kids to do vigilante, but at the same time, he saved fucking 6 lives.
Yeah.
And I want my heroes to be that interesting.
And they're not.
They're like specifically with DC. They're fucking dropping the ball. And I have more complaints, but for now that will be my part of Hatred Corner.
Okay. I'm just gonna say my little piece about Man of Steel. For me, when I was watching it, every single second I was watching it, I was thinking, Clark Kent, he's really just Goku. Every single thing that happened in that movie can be directly related to an episode of Dragon Ball Z. Directly related. Even to the point of killing his first bad guy.
Okay.
The crying scream that Superman let out when he killed Zod. That was like the same fucking attitude that Goku had when he killed Frieza, I guess.
When people were talking about that movie, I was recently reading. It's not a story like he feels bad about killing him. He feels bad because he killed his only connection to his heritage. I'm like,
no.
Or here's another thing. You know how he snaps the neck. He snaps it towards that family who Zod is threatening. Technically, he would have cut that family in fucking half. It's just there's so many things about that. I'm gonna climb off. I'm gonna climb down off this ledge and back off, and perhaps we'll discuss this another time because we're running low on minutes.
Yeah, we were down to about 4 or 5 minutes left. So what is it? Oh,
that's a new. So we got a new. What do you call it? What do you call that thing? Segment.
Segment.
We have a new segment. If you have any ideas for a theme song, go for it. Who knows? We might come up with something for Hatred Corner. Hatred Corner,
where we hate everything,
and you hate with us, or you don't.
Maybe. Who knows?
All right. All right. Well, you were gonna bring up a point. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I've been kind of wanting to talk about this. It just happened this week. Hearthstone, for anybody who knows it, is now in open beta. So that's a little FYI out there for people. And if you don't know what Hearthstone is, it is a TCG trading card game, but there's no physical cards. It's just like it's the closest card game it is to is Magic the Gathering, but it's all on computer. And it is completely technically free to play.
Oh, neat.
You do not have to pay a single cent if you don't want to. And it's not like you lose any advantage either. It's not like, you only have certain access by not paying money. No, you earn coins and, you earn gold.
Yeah.
And the gold can be used to buy packs or buy entries into the arena, which is a draft type, game type. And the other thing that's awesome about Hearthstone is it's a Blizzard game, and it is all Warcraft lore.
Nice.
So Warcrafts 1 through 3 and World of Warcraft, all of it's in there, in all the cards and stuff. So anybody who plays World of Warcraft, they're going to understand all the cards. They're going to get the points. They're going to read the funny texts on the cards, and they're going to laugh a little because they're going to get the jokes and stuff. And if you don't know the Warcraft lore, it's perfectly fine because it's just a fucking fun game to play.
Nice. All right. Well, since we're promoting stuff, I want to promote Rick and Morty. Little show, animated, recently started. It's about 5 episodes in. 6 episodes going to air really soon. If you subscribe to Adult Swim on YouTube, they actually post a new episode the night it airs, which I think is a fantastic idea for
that's really cool.
So, anyways, give it a watch. It's about a young boy and his scientist grandfather who go on, fantasy kind of adventures, like science fiction adventures, and then he has this family who does their side subplot mission. It is well worth the watch. I always have a laugh.
That's cool. I'm definitely going to be watching it. Once you watch Risk Cutters, another movie there for people who might want to, like.
Alright, well, let's sync our quantum entanglement. There! Alright, so now when I watch it, he would have seen that. That's how quantum entanglement works. You feel what I feel.
Oh. Well, perfect.
Alright. But, we are running on our last, 30...
We're done.
Yeah, 10 seconds. Alright, so, till next time, this is the Screaming Brain.
And this is Lucro.
Saying goodbye.
And have a shitty day.
Come on, you want to leave on that?
No, have a good day.
Alright. Peace.
The weekend's over. Okay, peace.